Hello, I'm Danny Barnts with the CCAA, and I'm joined right now with Stef Ewing, the head coach of the Cal State San Marcos softball team. Thanks for joining me today, Steph.
Happy to be here. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy softball season.
Absolutely, and that's what we're in. On the eve of the CCAA softball season, getting a chance to talk to you. You guys are coming out of the non-conference season. Let's just talk a little bit about that, and let's just be honest. I'm having you speak for the conference a little bit here. You guys have the opportunity, being in California, to host so many teams in February. Usually, it's a great thing. But what was going on this February, and what challenges have you guys faced kind of out there in this early part of February?
Well, I think we've all been fighting Mother Nature, and she's been winning. There's no doubt about that. Any of us right now are happy with whatever amount of games that we were able to get in. For us, we had a doubleheader against Billings get rained out, and we had a mini tournament that we were going to put on for the first time get rained out because of the weather. Um, and then we're fortunate enough to get 2 games in Sunday against Adelphi. The Mother Nature was on our side on Saturday and had some great wind, so we were able to get 2 big games in against a ranked opponent. So I think this preseason is anytime you have preseason games, you're trying to figure out your team early on in the season, figure out your lineup, figure out what kind of depth that you have. And sure, I'd love to be sitting here 10 games in instead of 6 games in, but we'll take everything that we can get as we get ready to get on the road for conference play. And I think any of the coaches in our conference, we all are thankful for any of the games that we were able to get in, given the weather that we've been dealing with here in California for the last 10-14 days or so.
Well, like you said, you're only a little ways in, but the one thing I noticed when I looked through the stats, so you guys are on high up right now on the pitching stats and the hitting stats. So nice to see it coming together on both sides. Could you talk to me? Feel like throughout the years you guys have been known as a great hitting team, and I'd like to get that for a minute. But through these first 7 games, you guys have a team ERA of 1.71. Could you just talk to me about what your team's been doing in the circle and how you guys have been pitching so far?
Well, it's so nice to have the amount of depth that we have on this team. Right now, we have 5 pitchers on the team and 2 returners that a lot of people are really familiar with, and Savannah Coyle and Jaylene Sloss, who have just come out at the beginning of this season um, with a whole new mindset of attacking hitters and really being diligent and being efficient in what they're doing. That's a word that we're using a lot in our bullpen is we need to be efficient and make sure that we're not throwing a lot of waste pitches, that we are really going after hitters. And those two, with the knowledge that they have of being 2-year returners, they know how they want to pitch to hitters. They're able to read swings and attack hitters, and they've done a really great job doing that so far this season and limiting the walks. That, I mean, we talk about that all the time. We have to eliminate free bases. You cannot give free bases because in our world, if someone gets hit by a pitch or they get walked, they score, and that's a free run. And we want to try to limit those. This year, we also brought in 2 newcomers in a transfer, Dahlia Fink from Bentley University, who I love her competitiveness. She also swings the bat a little bit. She's able to pitch the ball into multiple zones and really mix speeds well. So she's going to provide some great depth for us. And then Dylan Collins coming in from California or from Colorado, a pitcher that we have had recruited and committed here for 2 years, and just love her competitive fire. And Dylan, she's one of those pitchers who, when she starts her windup, you don't know where the ball is going to come from because she hides the ball really well. It's really deceptive to hitters. And, she did a great job in her first start against Colorado Christian. Came out, and I told her, I said, "You're from Colorado, so you're pitching against the Colorado team." And she did a really nice job as a freshman coming out in her first start. So I really like where our pitching staff is. And it truly is a staff. In the past 2 years, we've really had to keep an eye on pitch counts and do some load management. And we're going to continue to do that this year because it's worked for us. But I just feel like we now have the ability to call anybody's name that can go in that circle and get the job done. And we've never had 4. We've had 3. And we had 3, last year, but we have 4 now. And so that's what I'm really excited about, is that, in a 4-game series in conference play, we could start a different pitcher in every game. And, right now, Jaylene and and Sav, have dominated the innings, but that's because we only got to play 2 games against Adelphi, and Dahlia and Dylan were ready to go and go right in there. In fact, I had them ready to go in game 2, and then Sav just, kept getting them out, and I was like, well, okay, then we're going to run with Sav. But it really is a great bullpen, and they all work together so well to make each other better, and just share knowledge and share experience. And hey, Jaylene's got a great changeup, so she's talking to the pitchers about her changeup, and how she gets run on the ball, and and talking about how they're going to attack hitters. So there's just so much knowledge and sharing going on in the bullpen, and I love it. And I have to mention KK as well, Kristen Harita. She hasn't gotten in yet, but I'm telling you what, from where she was last year to where she is this year as a pitcher, she's made tremendous strides, and is really another legit option for us. We just haven't had enough games played this year yet in order to really have the 5 arms going, but really, really excited for her and the growth that she's shown. And that group in the bullpen, they truly show mudita. That's a word that we use in our program, which means finding joy in other people's success. So our pitchers are all rooting for each other. There are no oh, it should be me out there. It is, hey, that's my sister out there. I'm going to do everything I can to support her, and I want to see her be successful. So that group is living Medita, and that is really what has got us, going on this great start.
Thank you very much. That was great insight into the softball pitching staff too. I think so many people, and I'll be honest to you, even for myself, you're somewhat familiar with Major League Baseball or baseball because you know how that one works. But interesting to hear how many pitchers a coach is looking for in softball. And like you said, the way that you kind of utilize them in different ones, that you could utilize them coming out of the bullpen or somebody starting each day. Well, I think another part, and you mentioned a little bit before, was your depth out there. Um, we got to talk about that lineup you have out there. You have so many familiar names in that lineup. It seems like a lot of them come out and just built on the success that they had their sophomore season and continue to go forward. This lineup right now is second in the conference in batting average, batting 323, and also a number that I know we all look for, especially as a coach, second in on base percentage. Could you just tell me what's been clicking for you early in the year, and maybe what we can expect to see going forward?
I think the thing that's been clicking for us early on in the year is we're getting people on base. I certainly think that our ability to get people on base has been good. We really have focused on our walk to strikeout ratio as an offense, to be able to make sure that we are putting the ball in play as much as we can to put as much pressure on the defense as possible. And I think that our girls have really done a nice job with their 2-strike hitting and their 2-strike approach. When you bring back so many kids like we have, they all are able to go on their experience in their at-bat bank and go back in time and say, hey, you know what, I've been in this situation before. It's not new. And what we've been talking about a lot is really embracing the situation and being able to breathe and stay calm and stay true to what you do and stay process focused, not outcome focused. It's great to have a great batting average, and it's great to have an on base percentage, but we really focus on quality at bat percentage. That's what we want to see. We want to see at bats where we're getting 5+ pitches thrown to us, and that we are attacking the pitch that we are looking for, whether we're sitting inside or we're sitting outside. And are we swinging at strikes? And when we're making outs, are we having good contact? Those are the things that we're really looking for. I'll tell you what, right now as the coach, it's really hard to make a lineup because we have so many returners who have so much experience, and we have so many new people who are going to contribute. We have more speed than we have ever had in the past. We do. We've got some flyers. We are playing defense, and we've made a couple plays in the outfield that I have not seen ever get made before. That I'm just like, wow. I mean, we are really doing some special things. So I'm excited for our returners because our returners are experienced. So to me, they are really good at keeping their cool. And even if it's a tight situation, they're not pressing. But I'm also really excited because our new group of freshmen that we have in, they are pushing the returners. And there are no easy days at practice. And I tell everybody, it's hard to make a lineup. We're going to be switching people in and getting people in on a rotation because people have earned it. And I don't just have 9 people who I think can be in the lineup. I've got about 15 who could be in the lineup. And that's really hard from a management standpoint to make sure you're getting kids at bats and getting kids opportunities. I think I would love to see a little bit more production with runners in scoring position and a little bit more production when we have RBI opportunities. Because I keep telling our team, we're a doubles hitting team. We're not a home run hitting team. At our park, home runs are really hard to come by because we've got a great ocean breeze coming in from left field. So it's just in the afternoon, it's hard to hit a ball out in left field. You've really got to hit it about 240, 250 in order for it to go out, or else it gets caught up in the wind. So we're really, preaching to our team. We got to be doubles hitters, find ways to move runners, and, really about the team at bats and having that situational hitting. And it's going to come for us. Last year, it came for us in regionals, and everybody saw it. They were like, whoa, where did San Marcos come from with this huge offensive explosion? And we know that we are definitely getting a lot of people on base right now, but there are just some detailed things that we're going to continue to work on. And me as coach, I'm always, pushing our group to be a little bit better and really focused on the fine details of the game to get us to where we want to be. I look forward to the challenges that we have every day in practice. In fact, yesterday we did a little live execution where we're working on, hitting runners in from second base and hitting runners in from second and third. And today I've got a little small ball chaos that we're going to do in practice so that if we need to go small ball, we can go small ball. If we need to try to drive people in, we can drive people in. We're just really trying to polish every aspect of the game so that we can continue to get ready and know that we're starting conference play this weekend and that you have to be able to do it in all facets of the game in order to come away with a series victory.
Thank you so much. You referenced right there that you have a lot of talented freshmen coming back to add with your juniors. You guys had a great run last year, mentioning winning regionals and going on to play in the NCAA championships. You as a coach, I got to ask you, with so many newcomers and kind of that mixture there, how much do you reference last year when you're talking about stuff? And have you referenced that? Or is it just kind of that experience is now with them and you talk about only this year? I'm just wondering.
I think we've done a little bit of both. We definitely talk about last year and things that we did well and things that we learned from our experiences in making it all the way to the finals. And talking about what happened at the conference tournament, that we make it to the conference tournament and go 1-and-out in the conference tournament, and what it felt like to have that pressure of, are we going to get in? And how can we set ourselves up for better success this year? I think you have to always talk about the past a little bit because you have to remember it. You do. And I know as a coach, I want nothing more than for this team to have that experience that last year's team had in making it to the NCAA finals. Because even though we didn't win it, we felt like we did because it was such an awesome experience and awesome run. So we talk about it because we definitely have to learn that, hey, hitting is contagious. And we showed that last year through regionals and super regionals, that all it takes is one person to get it started and you don't know what can happen. A group can catch fire. And that, going into this year too, that this year is also an opportunity for us to create our own story and not continue to talk about last year, but we have to create our own story this year. And this team is unique. It's different. We have different players. We have different personnel. We've got different tools that we're able to do to create our own story for this year. But I think you've definitely got to build off of the past and you have to build off of your experiences that you had in order to make this year the best that it can be. And, with our good mix of, we have a couple transfers that came in as well as, our freshmen of people who just are here for all the same reason and they compete every day, which really has made our practices go by so fast because you just blink and they're over because everybody is out there grinding and really going after it. And they all have the same idea in mind that it's still an unfinished job. The job isn't done yet. We haven't done what we want to do. And that's, what our goal is this year is, our goal is to win the whole thing. And we talk about that. And that pressure is hard. It is hard when your goal is to win the conference tournament, and win the national championship. That means you got to go 3 for 3. That's a lot of pressure, but we openly talk about it because I tell our team, you can't do it unless you can say it out loud. And you have to have the confidence to say it out loud if you're physically going to be able to do it. And that's a challenge that we're looking at right now, is taking it one game at a time, but that we absolutely want to go out there and we want to win our last game. And if there's only one team in the country that gets to win their last game and celebrate about it. So that's our goal. It's tough, but we embrace it and we talk about it all the time, that this is why we're here. We're here because we want to create the best student athlete experience that we can, and we want to go out there and play our best softball and do everything that we can to represent Cal State San Marcos and, get another banner in our gym. I think all of our sports teams at our school have really done great in the past couple of years. And so, it's hard to walk through the halls without me saying, "Hey, Coach Jimenez, I'm just trying to keep up with you and your team and what they're doing." And those are the kind of conversations that we have around here, because so many teams are really doing well. And we look forward to seeing how things are going to shake out this year. But I really love our group. I think that they are going to make their own journey this year and have their own story. And at the end of the day, as a coach, I just need to get out of the way and let my players play. And I think that's the biggest thing that I learned from last year, especially through the postseason, is I just said, "Hey, it's your journey. I'm going to let you guys take it." And I've really tried to do that, this whole year as well, is really just let your players play and be thankful that you have good players, because, good coaches always have good players. They do, it's just one of those things. So we're fortunate to have the players that we have. And I just want them to be out there and shine on the field.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for just letting us hear a little bit of insight into the Cougars program. Like you said, the conference season starts this weekend for you. So I know that you obviously the journey's already started, but like you said, the journey to that first goal of winning the conference regular season really starts this Friday.
Yeah.
If weather continues in California on that kind of stuff, as we know there can still be some changes on that one and adjustments will come as it does. But good luck the rest of the season. We look forward to hopefully seeing you at the conference tournament, as goal number 2 will be in your sights at that point. And good luck. And once again, just thank you for your time.
Thanks, Danny.